March proved to be a good month for Microsoft Tag since it brought in the largest number of scans to date during the month. The boxes filled with oddly shaped code known as tags or QR codes have become increasingly popular over the last year. And Jeff Summers, the marketing director for Microsoft Tag, is here to talk to us about the recent trends with Tag and the mobile tagging industry as a whole. So Jeff, just begin by telling us sort of about these recent trends during the month of March.
Absolutely, and thank you very much for having us here on the program today. So we had, as you mentioned, a terrific month in March for Microsoft Tag. So we had our largest month of scans to date since we launched the product in January of 2009, with 50% more than any other month we've had to date. What we've also seen is over the last 90 days, last 3 months, the number of scans for Microsoft Tag. So we're twice as many scans over the prior period. And the number of users has gone up 2.5 times what it was over that same 90-day window. So we're really in the middle of what we're seeing as a big hockey stick-like growth curve here with Microsoft Tag and its usage by both customers and consumers out in the marketplace today.
That's great. Well, to what do you credit these results?
I think there are a few factors happening here. Obviously, one of the biggest ones is the penetration rate of smartphones in our society today. So when we look out across the number of phones, for example, that could access a Microsoft Tag today, it's over 50 million handsets in the United States. So there are a lot of people walking around with this fantastic computer in their pocket that can now read Microsoft Tags wherever they might see them. Another big impetus for our growth in particular has been our success across a number of industries, in particular with publishing. So we've seen a great deal of take-up across retail, consumer packaged goods, and publishing by those partners in terms of offering this experience to their customers. And what they're seeing there, which is fairly unique in today's day and age, is an ability to connect a physical experience with a digital experience. So now, rather than being confined to a two-dimensional experience on a page, you can link that customer via Tag to an online experience through their mobile phone, which can give that particular partner a way to share more information with that consumer, share an experience with them, get them to follow them on Facebook or Twitter, or any number of other types of triggers that could happen as a result of that. So we're seeing a lot of take-up on that side of it as well. And then there's a big difference, too, as we're seeing right now between Tag and some of the other technologies that are out there. And so we're seeing folks gravitate towards our solution as a more flexible, more innovative platform than some of the other ones that might be out there right now.
Okay, well, as you said, publishers are the largest group of people that are actually using mobile tagging. But can you actually talk a little bit more how they are using it to really engage consumers better?
Absolutely. So we've had some tremendous success in this particular vertical with really well-known publications, including folks like Sports Illustrated, Women's Day, Allure, Self Magazine, ESPN. So really marquee wins for us inside this space. And so it's fantastic to be working with such a great set of publishers. What's interesting and what they all share in common in many ways is that these are all very innovative publishers. They're looking to engage with their consumers in new ways using new technology. And so they're using Tag in a number of different ways. For example, inside their editorial features, you can imagine, for example, with Golf Digest, what they're able to do is link a video, for example, showing off how to actually execute a particular golf swing. And I'm on the golf kick because the Masters was just yesterday, of course. Right. But so now you can start swinging your club like Tiger or the guy who won, or you can actually go out there and you can start to do other things with that particular tag within an editorial column, where you can actually link that particular article to more detail or information about the products that you're talking about in that article. What's really interesting, too, though, is within publishing, there's an entirely different side of the house. So you've got the editorial side of the house, where they're writing articles and using Tag to link to a deeper experience with consumers. And you've got the advertising side of the house, where what's happening is publishers are encouraging their advertisers in the magazines to include tags in the advertisements to create a compelling experience across the entire magazine. So, for example, both Self and Women's Day, for example, have used Tag across very large promotions they've had for contests for their particular customers, where every tag within the magazine can link to the contest, and create deeper engagement around that contest for that particular advertiser or set of advertisers and that publisher. So it's a really interesting way to pull customers more deeply into the experience, share more information and content with them, get them to engage with your brand, and really help them to, I think, make better decisions and enjoy the experience more.
Well, have you gotten any data from these publishers and retailers and other groups about what their results actually are?
We've actually seen some interesting numbers come across from these folks. And anecdotally, I can share a couple of things with you that are really exciting for us. So number one, what they're starting to see is that consumers actually do see value in having the tag in the ad or in the editorial column. So that's really important, right? So obviously you want to engage with your consumers. You want to understand from them if this is something that's interesting to them or if this is something that they're overlooking. The interesting thing is consumers are really gravitating towards this, and they're saying that they like seeing this inside the magazine itself, for example, and in the advertisements. The second thing that they're telling us is that it's helping them drive engagement. And the way they're measuring this can depend on the type of implementation that they have. But some of them are measuring, for example, people who are signing up for their newsletters, people who are following them on Facebook or friending them, or following them on Twitter. So you're seeing social media pick up that way. They're also seeing, for example, deeper engagement across events that they're running. So I mentioned earlier the contest that a couple of magazine publishers had run in a couple of different magazines, and they saw much deeper engagement and much more frequent visits from the consumers who had engaged with the contest through a tag than those who hadn't. So the tag was a great way for them to keep those customers coming back, which is really important. Another thing that we've heard loud and clear too is that the engagement level through the tag increases dramatically. So for example, Sports Illustrated, when they ran their tag, what we're finding is that the engagement that the consumers had with the video content behind the tag was incredibly high. So not only did people actually click through to watch the content, they stayed watching the content. They didn't leave after just a few seconds. They actually stayed and spent, they watched the entire video in many cases, or spent several minutes engaging with the content. So the kind of engagement, the depth of engagement, the quality of engagement, the frequency of engagement is all going up across these publishers, which is allowing them to really reach out and really embrace their consumers in new ways. And that's all exciting for us to see. On the advertiser side as well, what we're seeing is that, what we're hearing is that advertisers are finding that people are recalling their ads with the tags in them. They're actually increasing their recall too about the content that was inside the tag. So it's helping all the metrics that are important for the advertising industry. You know, did you notice my ad? Did you remember my ad? Did you respond to my call for action? And it's just a tremendous way for those advertisers to take this two-dimensional asset that they have, all these advertisements, and really create that much deeper engagement in terms of a digital experience.
Well, this next question sort of summarizes what you've just said, but what would you say then to really convince a business to embrace this space?
You know, there are a few things that we talk about with businesses when we talk about why this could be really valuable. And in addition to the ways that we've talked about already in terms of engaging more deeply with your consumers, driving more adoption, and certainly driving a call to action, there's another couple of aspects that are really interesting, I think, for folks to engage with. One is that it is an innovative approach to marketing today. And the bigger point, though, is that it's an integrated approach to marketing. So interestingly, as a marketer, what you'd sometimes struggle with is you've got these different assets that you have out in the marketplace. So you've got a print ad, you've got a brochure, you might have a billboard, you might have in-store display advertising. Tag gives you this really unique way to connect all of that integrated, all of that marketing spend, all of that two-dimensional marketing that you're doing out in the real world, and actually tie all of those experiences together and bring those experiences together around a digital experience that you can share with your customers across all of them. So it's a really powerful way, again, to leverage what you're already doing in the marketplace, but bring it to a new level for consumers and for the response that you're looking for.
Right. Well, QR codes have also grown in popularity of late. So can you talk about the differences then between Microsoft tags and QR codes now?
Absolutely. So tags and QR codes, a lot of people can confuse them because they do look like 2D barcodes. They're similar in that respect. They're both symbology, type-oriented triggers in the real world. Tag, when we think about tag, we think about it as building a platform that will support the needs of our advertisers. So what we're investing in is finding ways that we can work with our partners to develop a product that's going to work for them over time. So for example, we've invested within TAG into a couple different areas that are very unique from QR. On a very surface level, you can actually create custom tags. So rather than have just a black and white or some color and white looking barcode, you can actually create a tag that has your logo in it or has something that stands for your brand, a product, a logo, a particular image, whatever that might be. And that in and of itself is really attractive to lots of our partners because they want to maintain, they've invested a lot of money obviously in that brand, and they want to carry that through their advertising. So TAG is a really unique way to do that. On the back end, TAG presents some really interesting features that are fairly unique in this space too. So one of them that I particularly love is the fact that we recognize device ID. And so by that I mean that you can actually see which devices are engaging with your particular tag. And then as a result of that, and because of another opportunity we have, which is called flexible change, we can flexibly change what the tag points to on the back end. We can actually create unique experiences for that particular partner. So let me give you an example. So let's say you and I are both scanning a magazine, and you've already scanned the tag twice, or you've already scanned the tag one time in the magazine. So you've seen something, a video behind that particular tag. You come back, you scan it a second time. We now know that you're scanning it a second time because we can see your device ID. And we also know that the particular partner we're working with has told us that on the second time someone scans my tag, please point them to this experience instead of this one. Me coming in for the first time, I get a completely different experience, even though I'm scanning the exact same tag. So TAG gives you this really flexible back end where you can actually show different experiences to consumers based on the number of times they scan, and also based on, in fact, even things like where they're located. So we've also rolled out real-time location on tags where we can actually see within a reasonable radius, about a half mile or so, where you're scanning. And that in and of itself allows us to provide, again, a more integrated experience around what the partner wants that particular tag to do for that particular customer in that particular location. And then the last piece is, I think that's really, really important these days to partners, is the metrics. So obviously we want to share, we want to have a nice set of data and reporting that we can share back with our partners, and we do that, and we're investing even more there.
Okay, well, can you, since you touched on this previously, but can you now just sort of sum up what we can expect from Microsoft Tag in the future, further development and further differentiation and things like that?
So I think to sum up there, and obviously we don't talk too publicly about kind of obviously where we're headed with our technology, but I think what you can expect from us certainly is you'll certainly expect to see that we're going to continue to invest in this platform. We're going to continue to find ways to develop features for our partners that are going to make the platform more and more valuable to them. We're going to continue to invest in the types of data and reporting that we offer to our partners and the metrics that we're reporting back on. And we're going to continue to think about ways that we can really leverage this platform so that partners can use it in many different ways. So again, we don't think of the technology in and of itself as only a 2D barcode. The 2D barcode is a trigger for the platform that we're building in the back end. And so we're going to continue to build that back end with new features and new developments there and new support. And we're also going to continue to think about, of course, new ways that we can trigger into that platform.
Okay, sounds great. Well, congratulations on the March results, and thanks for talking about them with us.
Well, thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate it.
We appreciated it as well. And if you're a business or a consumer and would like to learn more about Microsoft Tag, visit their site at tag.microsoft.com. I'm Abby Johnson reporting for WebPro News.